Okay, now it's recording. I'm having camera issues here, and yeah, that's for another story. I'm sitting out in the front, and I thought I'd make a second video. Just made one about kratom and the opioid issue, but I hope it's not too windy for the microphone. I kind of wanted to do a somewhat of a follow-up to a video I did the other day. And a lot of these videos I do, of course, they're not to push ideas on people, but rather to pose ideas and plant a seed in hopes that somebody can gain something from it on their own path, rather than telling people how to live. But just rather, this is what we should all be doing, sharing our experiences and what does work and what doesn't work. And the video I made the other day regarded things that I enjoy doing in life, all my passions, and the things that annoy me or things that I don't like doing, that maybe I need to do. Paperwork, organization, that kind of stuff. And then I've been kind of thinking about it the last couple of days, like while I was, packaging up orders and stuff, I was looking and noticing that my office is really organized and that there are many parts of my life that are organized. My thinking somewhat is organized, but when it comes to things that we think we're supposed to do, sometimes it's more difficult. Obligations, societal things. But that aside, I wanted to make a list. After I did that, I started thinking, okay, these are things I enjoy and things that I don't enjoy. What else would help me? And I thought about interactions with people, and I thought, I'm going to write down the things that bother me about other people and the things that I enjoy about other people. So I started writing the list, and it's rather short. I didn't get very far into it. It just brought to mind the idea that basically there are really only two things that I really dislike in people. And most can be categorized in those two. Now the first one is abuse, abusers, people who harm others. And that's self-explanatory. Sometimes it's much more of a gray area. People are mentally abusing those around them and don't even realize they're doing it. But those who affect others negatively and are not aware of it or are aware of it, those are the kinds of people that actually are very difficult to live around. The second one are people, stupidity or ignorance rather. And anyone can tell me I'm a dumbass too. There are many things that I don't understand in this world. I'm ignorant to people, or to other people I may seem really smart. To some people I may seem like a dumbass. For some of my ideas might sound plausible, and for others they think I have no idea what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter to me what others think in that regard. All that matters is that we all realize that there are going to be people who just don't get it. They cannot even grasp the simplest concepts, and it's not their fault. Perhaps it's their IQ, but regardless of what it is, it's become a touchy subject, talking about stupid people. And, some people are ruthless about it. They're like, they can't stand stupidity, can't stand dumb people. And I'm like, well, what do you define dumb as? Because we're all dumb to somebody. So I want to, define it to what I think, what I'm trying to convey is the people who, it has nothing to do with defined intelligence or intellect as far as what you've learned or academics. I know people who can barely spell, who are very intelligent people, who can read others. The most important thing is how we relate with other people. And if we're able to put ourselves into a situation or find ourselves with a group of people and being able to adapt to that, adaptation, it doesn't mean we always have to agree with everyone, nor does it mean that we have to always push our view and disagree with everyone. It just means that we can meld and we can adjust, and in certain situations we can make it work. And but more than that, it's being able to hold a conversation without becoming a complete asshole. It's about being able to be confronted with something that maybe goes against what you believe and not tell somebody else they're a dumbass because they believe it. And more than that, being willing to discuss and have our own ideas confronted. Because one of the most crucial things, I think, to learning and coping in life is to have your ideas confronted and to be willing to look at them honestly and figuring out what really works for you. Because if we deny ourselves, we're denying our foundation of everything we think. And our realities are very much subjective in the way that we interpret the world. You know, there is a physical world out there, regardless of whether I know it's there or not, but how I interact with it and which parts of it I notice are totally up to me. And so I guess that's the only thing I could think of as far as the two aspects of people. Other than that, I'm totally cool. I have no problem with what people believe, what they think. It's not like I think it's important for us not to point the finger at other people and tell them what they should or shouldn't do. We can look at the problems that are caused by certain ways of thinking, and there are plenty, but it's very difficult to nail it down. Like I was telling my son this morning, it doesn't matter what you think is right and wrong. We need both sides of thinking. There is a reason why we have, it's a polarity that we have everywhere in society, and it's always been more or less equivalent. I mean, there's a smaller faction who are actually, corrupt, horrible people out there. But most people just want what's best for themselves and others. And they may have different paths of how to get there. And by having those different ideas and being able to bounce ideas off each other, I think we can all live a better life and stop defending what we think, because it's not about what we prove to other people. But that's much more difficult, because sometimes you do have to argue and defend what you believe and what you think if you know that it's right. If you can see things that others can't, sometimes it's very difficult to explain that. And I'm sure it's the same way with the things I can't see that other people can. So that's why it takes all of us. I'm going to bid you farewell. It's a windy fall day. I'm using black and white now because I like it. I bid you all adieu, and I will talk to you.